I believe it's the 6th. The days go by so fast. So one thing on my channel that I have neglected to keep up with, and I want this to be part of getting back to, excuse the hair, it's pulled up for what I'm about to do. I've been doing a little work, but I decided to go live because I did get so much feedback and have been getting feedback to the email that goes to my channel for my vlogs that I was doing for like my DIY stuff in the house from the board and batten wall, which I'm going to do an updated video on that with the new color, the hooks, all that since it's changed, because the last reel that I did was actually showing, I think it was when I primed it because it was green. I primed it and we went back to a lighter neutral color. It was the Sherwin-Williams Logia, Loggia, I think it is, in eggshell. So we're also going to do a live on that in a video. But so today, I just wanted to show you the project that I'm doing. I think I can turn my camera. So the first thing I wanted to do was kind of the continue, because I am as you all know, outside of my micro locks vlogs and stuff like that, my videos, I do DIY decoration stuff. I love to decorate. I've made homemade planters that I put on my porch. I'm gonna be doing more like of my yard stuff, like literally is like stepping up my game. Okay, it's time to step up the game. So I did some planters for my porch. Redid some wicker chairs that are also on my porch that match the shutters on the house, whatever. But anyway, that's for another day. So today, what I did was I continued the board and batten from the hall so that everything is cohesive into the kitchen on the island. Now, when we first moved in this house, it was just I'm gonna say a blank canvas, okay? Because essentially everything was white. You know, anymore when you move into houses, they either have white cabinets, brown cabinets. Ours happened to be white. So what I did was I used a Sherwin-Williams color. I think it was called deep dark gray or something. So it was like a blue-based gray. I liked it at the time. It's really good for the lighting in the space, but I just wanted to kind of somewhat change that up. So I'm getting ready to kind of give you a walkthrough of what I'm doing. I'm actually going to continue the color that's in the hallway on the island on the back of it. And I'm going to go with a more neutral white on this side. I'm thinking either City Loft by Sherwin-Williams, or I'm thinking about, what's the other one? They have another really pretty white. It's a very simple name, and I've used it on a few things, but it's gonna be a very creamy, warm white on this side of the board and batten, and then the island, like I said, I'm gonna continue from the hallway, and I'll show you a clip of that in a minute, like what that looks like, because I'm gonna finish up the video for that. But let me give you a walk around. So last night, actually, I tell you what, hang on. All right, I'm trying to turn this thing around so that you guys can see. Okay, let me take this off. Okay, so this was my project last night. So these slats are 2 feet in height, and they are 1/4 of an inch thick. So I'm trying to make sure that focus is good. Okay, there we go. And what I had to do was use a miter saw, a handheld saw, to go along the entire island. As you can see, I was testing out colors. This was just an oak color that I did, which was the Sherwin-Williams, but did these last night, measured them, cut them. They are flush with the board, so I didn't have to remove, because again, like I said, as part of interior design, to me, the less that you have to remove things and do things in a timely manner, the better it is. So they're flush with that baseboard, and they're flush with the baseboard that's underneath here. So this was that side. It probably took me a couple of hours because I did have to cut those wood pieces to kind of fit in the top. But I am going to use some wood filler where the sections are that you can see where the wood is kind of separate. So on this side, this is part of the island. And as you can see, which I removed this handle, but when I did these cabinets, when we first moved in, I did not prime them. So as you can see, they actually kind of scratch and stuff like that. And these were the silver knobs that I was using. This one was here, but I've already removed one. But I am actually going to spray these gold. So as you can see, it held up pretty good. It's been on for about 3.5 years. Almost, yeah, 3.5, a little over 3 years. And this is the color I'm going to be using. This is the Sherwin-Williams Logia, but I will be priming the cabinets first. And also before you paint, also make sure you cover this off with tape, avoiding the edges, so that you can make sure you get it really close and flush. Because I'm actually going to change out the covers with a more designed, I'm just going to kind of upgrade it since I am doing gold. Now, I do want to show you guys the gold I'm going to be using for the handles. I'm going to be using the Rust-Oleum Metallic in the gold finish. I'm going to be using these on the handles. I've actually used it on a few things. Hello, I've lived. Hello, Jafar. Thank you guys for joining me. So I will be using the Rust-Oleum Brilliant Finish, metal finish, on here, and it's indoor and outdoor, works on metal, wood, and more. So, okay, Noel, hang on. So that's just an update to kind of show you guys what I was doing, how I was doing it. Okay. And how that turned out, the board and batten. Now, I also want to show you guys this right here, the board and batten that I did in the hall of my home, the foyer, the entryway. Okay, so let me zoom out if I can, maybe. Okay, so this is the board and batten that I did, DIY. This, I installed the shelf that's on top of here. And then I did the board and batten. These are, I believe, 2 inches. Noel, do what you have to do in there. Okay, then what I did was I put a 1x2 at the bottom. So that way it would be flush with this panel that's here. And then I added the wood shelves on all of them. So yeah, so all I'm doing, like when I show you this is continuing through here so that it's cohesive to the space. So as you can see, the board and batten there, these are flatter. They go more with that island out to here. And once I actually finish the design, and then when you come over here, I also have the board and batten that continues here, but I installed the black hooks. Okay, so the black hooks are here. Of course, my bench, that's gonna go because I'm gonna replace that with something different. But I also have the shelving here. And I started to do a gallery wall. None of the pictures are the ones that are actually going to stay there. But the elephant one will, and so will this small one right here. But I just wanted to kind of put the frames up just so I could get an idea. But I think I'm going to do more of like a gold, warm bronze picture frames, like this picture frame that's here. So yeah, this is actually going to continue into there. It's just, the panels are just flatter. I also did it on this wall as well. And of course the shelves, all that. Sofa table's gonna be redone. I'm gonna move that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I had no, let me get back to my stand. I had no prior knowledge prior to starting DIY. Let me turn my camera around so I can talk. Okay. I had no prior knowledge to doing home projects or DIYs prior to doing them. Most of everything that I did take an interior design class that took me some months to do. Got my certifications in like design and paint and textures. And I kind of feel like even if you go to school for interior design, or you just want to kind of just figure out how things, like for me, it was more of, I know I like this texture, I like this color, but how do I make it all come together? That was my thing. So now that I know how to bring things together, it's easier for me to see the vision in my head and create it on paper or create it in an image. So essentially, it's just about doing what you like. And I've actually wanting to work with more people and just kind of create different things. So this is my weekend project. Like I said, I'm gonna finish this today. Also, when you do the board and batten, it's important to remember, like, even though they're flush, the glue is dried. I had to use a few nails that the wood filler will kind of cover up before we, because I'm gonna prime it first on both sides, because this is gonna be my cream, kind of like a really warm white, to kind of add some warmth to this space so it's cohesive with my living room. But on the other side, I'm also going to prime because I had did a paint color. And most of the time when you get cabinets, unless they're real wood, most of them have like that laminate over it. So it makes it really hard for that paint to really stick onto it. So you want to make sure before you paint anything, just information that I had to learn the hard way, you always want to prime first. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So caulking once the wood is dried and nailed, and then and then of course painting. Depending on how dark the color is, like when I did the green that I just showed you in the hallway, I did have to apply 2 coats of the Ben, I think it's the Ben primer. Yeah, in the blue can, because I have the blue and the red. Because one of them is for like your acrylic and latex, and the others for like wood finishes and laminate surfaces. So since this cabinet had a laminate surface under it, I will be using that one. Make sure to clean, degrease, and do everything. Like I said, I'm going to add some warmth to the kitchen, because I feel like when I first started this particular project that you see on my YouTube channel and my videos, I did the silver handles because I thought, I was playing it safe. I was playing it safe. I didn't really know what to do. And this is before I did the designer course, like interior design and decor course, where I learned why certain colors are more functional in some spaces and why some aren't. So anyway, I'm not going to blab on and on about it. Once I get done with everything, I will show you. So my next step now is I'm getting ready to clean, wipe off literally everything except this side, because I've already cleaned the baseboard here where I put the board and batten. I've somewhat cleaned the sides. I've taken the muscles to sore, y'all. So I've cleaned the sides where the outlet covers came off. I'm just gonna tape those so no paint gets into those sockets. Be very careful with that. If you're unsure, make sure to use your painter's tape like this. What I do is I just kind of cover the outlet with it just to make sure nothing gets in the nooks and crannies of it. And that's pretty much it. So stay tuned. Once I finish cleaning, priming, and then painting, you will see the finished product. Thank you for joining me today. I know this was a quick reel. Some days I'm doing makeup, but my daughter isn't feeling too well. So I'm taking care of her. So weekend project that I want done by tomorrow evening. It will be done by tomorrow evening. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right above, okay, my fireplace here, I am going to do wall or picture frame molding. And I thought about doing one square here, along here, and then doing a smaller square inset, or I was gonna do 2. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the square here, and I'm gonna change out the decor that's on it. Because over the course of time that I've had that stuff there, I just really feel like it's there. And again, I'm kicking it up a notch with my home projects that I've started, needed to finish, or just hadn't started at all. So this is the time. I was working out in the yard. Like I say, you will do more. I'm going to do more vlogs outside so people, so you can see my yard and what I do. I recently shortened my, I guess it's like a flower bed, but it's like, I call it my landscaping space, which is where like your privacy bushes are, or where your bushes are outside of your house. Well, I recently shortened that, and because it is extremely hard to find sod right now, I just put grass seed in until I can get some sod plugs or squares to put in. So I shortened that up. I do plan on working on that later, to kind of put the plastic down to keep the weeds and stuff at bay, and cut like the holes around the bushes so that they, of course, can get water and thrive. So you'll see more of that as well. So, but today, this is the project. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you coming out. If you did not watch the beginning of this live, just go back, watch it anytime. I have until I realize they make them private until you make them public. So they are public for you to go in and watch again. Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via messaging on this video. I do get them to my email, or you can email me at cosmos, COSMOSVLOGS 37 at gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you to everybody that commented. Thank you for your continued support as I grow my channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and again, comment. Let me know what you think, what you'd like to see me do, and I will see you next time.